Hi guys, this is Carrie. You're watching A Crone's Life. Today I wanted to do the VR response to Chanel Days with the Midyeartarottag, and I'll be honest with you, it took me a long time to figure these out because I have not been as active reading cards as I should be. I've been reading a lot, but they're mostly books, and trying to master certain techniques. So the first prompt is the deck that you've used the most this year, and it's really just basically the Thoth Darrow, and I've been comparing it to the Zillich and my Aleister Crowley, basically using the three of these together in my studies to master the Thoth system. And master is a big word, so honestly I don't have high hopes for getting to mastery, but I really do care about getting a handle on this. It's such an intriguing deck, and I like this system better than the Rider-Waite-Smith. There's just, and forgive me for saying, but there's a little bit too much Christianity in the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it doesn't align with my beliefs. So I want to get better. I want to do better with the Thoth system. So this is the mass market deck that I just picked up on Amazon last year, and I got the Zillich Tarot this year, of course, with the understanding that it is also a Thoth-based deck. It is a minimalist version, so many of the depictions are just watered down imagery. It still has a lot of the symbolism going on in it, but for the most part, it's just not as, maybe the word is cluttered as the Lady Frida Harris artwork. And it's just nice to have something really different to compare it to. I also have the Sun and Moon Tarot, but because it is so minimal, it makes it a little bit difficult. This one is just right for me, but... And I've talked about the Aleister Crowley deck before. I really like the cartoony nature of it. It makes it a little bit more approachable to me. Makes it softer for the readings, and I don't know, it allows my eyes to really travel around the artwork and take it all in rather than just being like overwhelmed. So, so this is the third deck that I've used a lot, and I'm supposed to journal and keep track of what I'm using and how many times I've read spreads with certain decks, but I have not been journaling. I've been having struggles these days, so I just know this as a fact. I am working on this, so these must be the ones that I've used the most. And I hope you like this deck. It's such a wonderful deck for me. Okay. So just to show you what this might look like, sorry there's a glare right here. This is the original Thoth-based deck, or Thoth deck, with Frida Harris's work. And this is the Aleister Crowley cartoonish deck, and this is the Zillich Tarot, which is the least like the other two. So we have the 5 of discs, and you see the colors are different. Some of the symbolism is just the same. The astrological sign is in a different place. It's right here, and it's way up there. So you can see differences, but you still have like the essences of what's going on. These seem to be in a different order, so I look into that kind of imagery, like why did they do that, or does it matter? And then the 5 of discs in the Zillich Tarot just basically gives you the keyword and gives you an image of what the keyword might suggest. So then we have the 10 of discs, and again the colors are different. The astrological symbols are in different places. They have more of the Hebrew lettering here, and again, this is just simplified, but it gives you something to compare it to. It gives you, you know, that's the way I did the Rider-Waite-Smith also, is I compared my decks to get a bigger, broader picture. So again, the Zillage Tarot did exactly the same thing. They gave you an image of what wealth would look like. This deck could be used as either one, I really feel, as long as you're using the keywords. So, the Five of Swords. This one comes closer with the coloring. There's a lot less what looks like erratic background noise. This gives me the idea of confusion just as well as this does, but it's just different. And then defeat is the image of someone being defeated. Prince of Cups. And my last one is the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man looks similar in almost all the decks, but there's some symbolism here that we don't get, and there is some that we do get. The shape is the same, and this, of course, is the most simplified version. So that's basically what that looked like. Okay, the second prompt is a new deck that has come into your collection, and I have a couple of decks. I've already done a flip through and an unboxing of the Haptic Tarot. This is gorgeous. I mean, I wish I could just pass this around and show it to everybody. That would be so great. I said in my walkthrough, my flip through, that it gives me Somnia tarot vibes, and not changing that opinion. I have opinions. I can't think of what the word is. Sorry. No, I don't know what it is about the deck that gives me Somnia tarot vibes. Maybe it's the softness of everything, but this is artwork based off of Jan van Eyck, a Flemish painter from the Renaissance. And if I don't know, I'll need to look this up, but I really feel like Jan van Eyck was painting well before the Renaissance started. Anyway, so the hands are gorgeous. I love how emotional they seem. I would have liked to have seen a couple of hands that were like white-knuckled gripping something really hard, because I feel like that would give me more of this emotion through the hands vibe, but maybe there's not really a card that would go for, so I don't know. I've got floating heads in the cups, and I had to really study that one when I came across it during the flip through. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's definitely weird. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it brings out some Somnia vibes. I don't know. But this is the Haptic Tarot. I will try to be more, let's go faster kind of. I love the Hermit card. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And the Queen of Wands and the World. So, and there's the Death card. So this was the most recent deck that came to me. It like literally came to me days ago. I've had a chance to do the opening of the box video, flip through, and I've had a chance to really go through the cards and yeah, and have some opinions. So there's that one. And there's one other deck that I wanted to show. It came before the Haptic Tarot, but I did not make a video of it, so I feel like this is my chance to shout it out. It is much more minimalistic than that one. The first things first, I got an altar cloth with this deck. that I'm about to show you, and I'm in love with it. I'm obsessed with it. My daughter accidentally spilled my coffee on it the other day. I washed it in the wash machine. I hung it to dry. It is in perfect condition. The washer did not do anything to harm it. I love this altar cloth. It has this suede-y kind of feel to the top, but it's woven underneath, so it's just beautiful. It's so like great but simple, and the colors are great. So you're asking yourself, what deck is this? So it's a Kickstarter, just like the Haptic Tarot. It's called the Elemental Strength Tarot, and this is the full size. The full size is glossy, so it is not exactly my favorite. Like, I don't mind glossy, especially when I'm just doing things on my own. This has a little bit of a holographic sparkle to it. My eyes don't adjust very well, so I'm not sure if you're getting that, but it is pretty neat. But this deck is beautiful. It's simple. These are the backs. So this shiny one has silver around the star. The other one, I believe, has gold. And you can see just a straightforward reader, something simple to not bog your brain down too hard. And with all my endeavors to learn different systems, I have really been aching for just very plain, fun cards to not stress about. The characters are elemental creatures, so little fire wisps. I guess they're kind of watery, but they seem sort of, yeah, they're very watery. Okay, so I was thinking they seemed cloudish, but really the clouds are in the air. And then the pentacles are that stone. That's right, they're stone. Golems type stone creatures. So the reason why I can, or I say that one is better than the other, and I'll show you because this is so cool. I didn't even know what I was doing, because if I can get a travel size, I try to. If I can get an altar cloth, I try to. But the travel size. So this is a linen finish. There's no gold like I thought there maybe was. There is on the box, but not on this. Still the chunky guidebook. And look how beautiful that, well, I don't know if you can see it. The texture is amazing. And look, the size for my hands. So you can see quite a bit of difference, and it makes a huge difference. I love the size and the feel of this one. I'm positive it will get the most use out of the two, but I love having a backup, so I'm not concerned about having too many. If I care about something, I really do like to have more than one copy. I have a granddaughter who gets into things nowadays. She's a toddler and she wants to touch and feel everything. And I try to let her, as long as she's not going to hurt anything, but yeah, my cards, it's a constant worry for me. So that's the Elemental Strength Tarot. Let me see, who did this one? Illustrated by Linear. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. And I suppose that's all. Okay, the next prompt is the most anticipated deck released this year. So honestly, Phases and Forest. She started the campaign on Kickstarter in October, and I knew I wouldn't get it until this year, so this is officially that one. But later on around, oh, I don't even know, February? It must have been February. I'm going to leave some pictures somewhere to show you. I found out that Black Banshee is doing an Oracle deck, and it's going straight to mass market. And I could pre-order it on Amazon, and I can't tell you, it's so, I love her work. I commissioned her to do a tattoo sleeve for me, and I just want to say tattoo artists don't like to do other people's artwork. It kind of irks them. And so I have not found anyone that will put that tattoo on my body. But as soon as I find someone who's willing and will do a good job, I am going to get my sleeve done with her artwork. I'm just so in love with her art. But hopefully you'll have already seen a picture of what she does, and her information, of course, like Facebook and Instagram. I think she has an Instagram. I'll leave in the description box below. But this is Phases and Forests, and this is the creator, Kat Rawls, who did the Roots and Wings Oracle deck. And to be honest, guys, I have always loved the Roots and Wings. It's just, I don't know, it speaks to me, and I feel everything about it. So when I heard she was doing another one, I was like, well, I can't pass that up. I just can't do it. And then I just kept waiting, like, is it here yet? Are we sending these out yet? And of course, everything got delayed because of the Chinese New Year was one of those things. And then, you know, just things happen. So when it finally came in, I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I finally have it in my hands. She's amazing. I love her work so much. So two fantastic, beautiful artists with 2 Oracle decks this year. And yes, I am on pins and needles for Black Banshees, and it's called the Yokai Oracle. So Black Banshee, Yokai Oracle, and Kat Rawls with Phases and Forests. Sorry, just an aside. I just checked to see about the Yokai deck that Black Banshee's doing, and it actually is a tarot. It's not an oracle. So when I messaged her, like I do little messages, I private messaged her and I asked her about it. I asked her if she was doing a tarot deck, and she said no, it's going to be an oracle deck. So that must have been pre-work, and she didn't really know. She didn't really know it was going to be a tarot. So it is a tarot. It's called the Yokai Tarot, and it's by Black Banshee. But there's another name for the person who did the guidebook. I'm not worried about that. Sorry. I'm really interested in her artwork. So the next prompt is the most disappointing deck, or maybe the most disappointing situation. I like to just take chances on things sometimes, and this was definitely a company I continued to take chances with. I've got 3 of their decks, I think, and they're all 3 pretty bad. I don't know why I kept going back for more. I just thought I was gonna get lucky. But Mineo is the company, and not to be mean, but steer clear of their work. It's pretty lazy. Yeah, this is what they just put out a bunch of money grabs, and that just made me sad. I don't think there's anything I like about this deck. And I don't usually have that kind of negative response. I really usually try to find something wonderful in some shape or form about the deck, but I just can't with this. Yeah. So when we get to it, I'll show you. I just thought it was right here, but maybe not. Justice looks like the Emperor. Like, what the? Okay, the Emperor. I am... Really? you don't have somebody to check your, an editor to check your spelling? It's a lot of these that have the I instead of an E. The Empress is an I. I'm trying to sell this deck, but I think everybody knows, besides me. Everybody knows this is a terrible deck. There's the Empress. Impress. It just... Anyway, my biggest disappointment. I was really thinking that this was going to turn out like awesome and cool because it's black and white. It came with some really cool rocks. I don't know. I was wrong. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. Sorry to myself. I'm sorry to whoever buys it, if anybody buys it. Sorry for the company because they can't make a good item. Anyway, that was my biggest disappointment. The next prompt is biggest surprise. And to be honest with you, I want to throw this out there. There are often times I just do things without even thinking about it. I told the story about when I was in college. I went to New Orleans, and I wanted to buy some decks. Well, I may or may not have bought a deck like this one. It's still, we're not positive. I haven't been able to get back with Amy about it. But if I did, I never really learned how to read it. I probably sat in my room unattended. This is called the Elemental Tarot. Carolyn Smith and John Astrup, and I've put the cards in order by number, I believe, and it's amazing. Like, here's the backs, pretty dull, but I didn't know what I was doing. I honestly I went by the seat of my pants. I saw it on eBay and I said, well, I'll just grab it. I mean, it's from that period of time. That may or may not be it, so let's just check it out. So I got it, and the keywords, the little phrases on it are just, they hit the mark every time. And everything is different in this deck, and I love it. I love how crazy and wacko and I don't even know what to say. Like, I love how bizarre this deck is. I love how it challenges me to know what the heck I'm talking about. And it really, really pushes my intuition. It gives me plenty of words to go off of, it gives me plenty of symbols to go off of, but it's not normal. It's not normal, but it's fantastic. So this was a really, really big surprise, and I'm so happy that I did actually go out and get it. I don't think that there would have been any getting it if I'd waited. I probably would have talked myself out of it. But I believe this was from 1988. Most of the decks that I was looking at were from 1988. Yeah, 1988. And it's a dolphin book published by Batam Doubleday Dell Publishing Group. Anyway, yes, I'm super excited about this deck. And you know, yet another another project for me to work on was reading this deck. I'm hoping that maybe learning the Toth system will help me with this, and I'll just be able to get it, or just start using it, and then there's no turning back. Okay, so that is the Elemental Tarot from 1988, Carolyn Smith and John Astrup, as my biggest surprise for 2024. Next prompt is Deck Crush, and I want to know, do you guys ever have a minute where you receive a deck, you're holding it, and something happens? Like, you just feel joy and an instant connection. Well, that was this deck. The Guided Gaze Tarot was a Kickstarter. Almost all of my decks this year have been Kickstarters. I have to stop doing this. I will stop doing this. But, you know, I don't even know why I backed it, to be honest with you. It was just kind of it was kind of bland compared to everything else. Like, you look at the Phases and Forests Oracle, you look at the Haptic Tarot, you look at the Juniper Power Tarot, and all these decks are just out there and full of color and full of vibrancy and full of everything. And then there's this black and white deck, and I honestly don't know why I said to myself, I need that deck. But I backed it, and I didn't even know if it was going to make, because it's not a group of people that I knew. So Fox and Kaz McInty, Nina Fox and Kaz McInty. Never heard of them. They didn't have a deck from before. I was really taking a chance because, you know, that's how I get kind of messed up with other Kickstarters, is it's somebody that we don't know. Uh-oh, we have a shadow. Okay. So the Guided Gaze, I received it and I started using it right away. I did not even do an unboxing or a walkthrough. I just started using it. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And every picture, every card just gave me the tingles. It just was fantastic. And yeah, so I instantly had a crush. And there's, like I was saying, it's not terribly special. It doesn't have a bunch of glitz and glamour, but the drawings are very different. I mean, they give me a different vibe than just a regular Rider-Waite-Smith or that based kind of deck. I wouldn't say it goes in its own direction, but I would say that it gives you different feelings, instantly different feelings. I seem to feel a little bit more introspection when I look at these cards. I should try and move through them a little bit faster, because all the, it's a little bit pippish. The pips are interesting, but the major arcana are in the front, so I'm working from the back. There's Judgment. That's really interesting too, because I have chronic back pain, so strength. I have to find strength. I can't wait for this to go mass market if it does, just so that I can tell everybody, go get it. Go get it. It's so awesome. It's a beaker, if you can't tell, so it's like a science thing. And there's the Fool. It's a foot. I love this deck. Anyway, that was Deck Crush for the year. Next prompt is the card that makes you happy. And I picked the Page of Cups from the Tarot of the Starbound Fantasia. This card just has joy written all over it. It's the bubbles, it's the sparkles in the bubbles, it's the colors, it's the dress, it's the look on the page's face, it's everything. It's the frog. I mean, I love this card, and it brings me so much joy. So I don't know if I said it right, but the last one was my favorite tarot card for the year, and it was my favorite because it made me happy. But the deck that makes me happy is the Nemeth Tarot by Johanna Jaus. She surprised me by releasing this, and because I'm on her mailing list, I got a notification about it. I have not used it, but I have looked through it several times, and I love this deck. I mean, it's just beautiful. I really, really do need to use it, but this deck makes me happy because I got the first edition. Because I felt special. I got an email telling me that it was available. I don't know. I'm so silly. I don't know. It sends me to another world. Makes me feel special. A little bit different. A little bit special. I've seen other people with this deck, so don't get me wrong. I know I'm not the only one that bought it. That would be silly. But, you know what I'm saying. It's like when you get a little special note when you've ordered something from an independent artist, and, you know, they tell you thank you, and that just feels good, and that is the way I feel about this deck. It just makes me feel good. I'm gonna cut through some of these. I don't know if you guys have seen this deck or not, but her artwork is just, it keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? She's channeling Van Gogh with some of her color choices. Oh, it's the Green Man. Okay, so this is the deck that makes me happy. Next prompt is the most beautiful deck so far this year, and hands down, it is Dream of the Nile. And, oh my gosh, she's so easy to remember, but I can't. Emma Zhang. She did Dream Visions Tarot, and this one is just as well thought out, well executed. Everything about this is gorgeous. It's soft to hold. It's skinny, so my hands like the feel of it. And color palette, I mean, I could go on. This is the most beautiful deck that I've got this year. Ooh, glare. Okay, it's going to take me forever because I love every card. Can you see the moon? It's a little dark. There you go. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous deck. No regrets. I'm so happy to have this. Thank you, Emma Zhang. It's beautiful. Everything about it. So a deck that you're still waiting for, so like most anticipated. No, that was the other one. Just a deck that you're waiting on. It should arrive this year. I'm going to go with the Children of Ostara, which is the follow-up to the Children of Litha by Zia Hunt. And it is I'm most excited about that deck. But there's one, no, there's several others. So if you know who Hannah Tricure is, Hannah Tricure, she did the Bestiary of Women. She's also the author of the Self-Love Tarot. The Bestiary of Women should be coming anytime. I believe they said it's shipped, so I could get it any day now. The next prompt is a deck that you have, but you haven't been able to work with yet this year. And this is the hazard of buying too many decks. I mean, I know for a fact that I would not be this way if I didn't have just too much stuff coming in at one time. But I made an order to Cassandra over at A Riffle in Time, and her shop is so beautiful, and I want everything that I don't already have. I want all of the decks, but I ordered 4, and 2 of them I've used and 2 of them I have not. I've worked with the Visions in the Liminal Space. This is a hilarious deck. I freaking love it. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet, though. That's why it's sitting in my bag, so I take it with me when I go places, and I just sort through it and read some of the stuff in it, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know how it's going to fit in my practice. I do know how to use it. You know what I'm saying. And then I got the Death Doula. I couldn't resist. I've seen this on too many people's channels, and it's just so gorgeous, and I knew that would fit everything that I like to do. So I've looked through these. I haven't paired it with anything yet. Also haven't done any readings, so this one's been used the most out of the 4. And then the other 2 was the Outgrow Yourself, and obviously I haven't even opened it. I don't want anything to happen to it until I'm ready to actually work with it. And the Future Ancestor Tarot. I've been waiting years to get the Future Ancestor Tarot, and I really don't know why I've waited, but I did. So when I knew I wanted these 2 when I was shopping in her store, and I put those in the cart, and then I decided on the Future Ancestor because I was already getting 2 other things, so I might as well get this one. And this was an afterthought. I don't know what made me do it, but something made me do it, and I got that one. So these 2, I have not even taken the cards out yet. But I definitely will before the year's over. Don't worry. Last prompt is the favorite video that you've made this year, and of course it's this one because I got to talk about Cassandra's shop. I got to show you all the Kickstarters that I haven't been able to show yet. I got to talk about all my favorite things, and yeah, I mean, this is great. I love this video. It's gonna be super fabulous. So, I don't know why I brought this over here. I was just gonna say this is my favorite video. So, I guess that's it. And you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.